The administration has always maintained the position that anyone who illegally crosses our nation's borders is subject to deportation. That's just the law of the land, and we must be a nation that enforces our laws. But the priority from ICE, of course, is to deport, detain, arrest, and remove violent illegal aliens and criminals from our country.
Truth was buried so deep beneath headlines, politics, and media spin that we forgot how to recognize it. What if all this time, while we were debating over tweets and talking points, something far more dangerous was quietly unfolding behind closed doors? Today, something broke through. Something raw. Something real. And for once, it wasn't filtered through a teleprompter or a PR team. It came from the mouths of those standing in that press room, on live record. And it might be one of the most important moments you've missed. It began with a calm but pointed question. In light of the newly declassified annex to the Durham report, what does justice actually look like for those whose lives were upended by the Russiagate scandal? A question most would dodge. But this time, we got a straight answer. The response was unapologetic. Yes, a massive reorganization of the national security apparatus is already underway. The president has placed his trust in CIA Director John Ratcliffe and ODNI Director Tulsi Gabbard, names that send signals on their own. Their job? To ensure that classified intelligence, the kind that can shape or shatter nations, never again ends up in the hands of political operatives who will weaponize it. But then came the real punch. The spokesperson didn't hold back. She said this should be a story every major outlet is covering, that Hillary Clinton approved the Russia hoax, that her campaign funded it, that the FBI and CIA, two of the most powerful government agencies in the world, were actively used to launch and accelerate a smear campaign against then-candidate and future President Donald Trump. This wasn't speculation. This was stated as fact, out loud, in the White House press room, and it shook the room quiet. She said the president wants to see justice, that he trusts the Attorney General and the Department of Justice to bring accountability, to hold those responsible for manufacturing a lie that consumed the nation for years. Lives were destroyed, reputations ruined, trust in American institutions shattered. And for what? But even before the dust could settle on that, the next question came. A journalist asked about tariffs, specifically whether President Trump had decided between a 15% or 20% universal tariff baseline, a number that could fundamentally reshape global trade. The answer? They're not announcing specifics just yet, but make no mistake, something big is coming. The implication was clear. This administration is preparing to take bold, unapologetic economic action. And then, without skipping a beat, came something that caught even seasoned reporters off guard. The journalist brought up a statement made by Treasury Secretary Basse, who referred to the newly introduced Trump newborn accounts as a backdoor to privatizing Social Security. That's a massive claim, the kind that sparks panic and outrage. But the answer that followed was not denial. It was something more. She said the newborn accounts aren't about dismantling Social Security. They're about building a new path forward. She called them visionary, money saved from birth, growing over time, a nest egg for a future home, a family, a dream. She said this isn't about taking away, but adding on, giving young Americans another stream of support. She reminded everyone that President Trump protected Social Security in his first term and will do it again in his second. But then, the room shifted. A reporter raised a question that felt like a gut punch. Immigration, deportations, ICE rounding up violent illegal criminals, but also sweeping up innocent people, even clergy, pastors, people who serve their communities? The answer was cold, clear, and unwavering. If you come to this country illegally, you are subject to deportation. That's the law. That's the foundation of this nation's legal system. But she added, ICE's priority remains unchanged, targeting violent criminals, the kind who pose real, immediate threats to public safety. She said thousands are being deported every single week, especially from Democrat-run sanctuary cities where they were once shielded by local leadership. Not anymore. This president, this administration, is enforcing the law. But there was a silence in the room, a quiet acknowledgement that the answer, while clear, might not comfort everyone. What about the innocent pastors? What about those caught in the crossfire of policy and politics? That question remained hanging in the air. This wasn't a normal press conference. It wasn't sanitized or rehearsed. It was a glimpse into how this administration really operates. No apologies, no filters, and no room for political correctness. Love it or hate it, this is a government in motion, one that's redrawing the lines of what's acceptable and what's expected, from justice, from immigration, from the economy, from us. 3 questions, 3 answers, and the kind of tension you can feel even through a screen. And now we turn to you. Do you believe the Russia investigation was a political hit job? Should newborns have their own lifelong savings accounts? Are ICE's aggressive tactics necessary for safety, or are they going too far? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video if you want stories that cut through the noise. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to join Celeb Viral, because we don't just cover what everyone's talking about. We talk about what they're ignoring. The truth isn't always loud. Sometimes it hides in quiet moments until someone dares to ask the right question. And today, they did.